Okay, so let's talk about one of the most fundamental challenges for any business out there. How in the world do you get your product or service into the hands of your customers? Seriously, this is a question that can make or break a company, so we're going to dive right in.
For the longest time, people saw this as just a logistics problem, like a straight line from a factory to a store shelf. But today, that straight line has exploded into this incredibly complex maze of online shops, brick-and-mortar stores, direct sales, you name it.
The old maps just don't work anymore. So, in this explainer, we're going to give you a new framework, a new way of thinking to help you navigate this modern distribution maze and find the best possible path to your customer.
The first thing you've got to grasp is that the rules have changed because the entire perspective has shifted. We're moving away from thinking about the company's needs to really focusing on the customer's world. This right here is the big idea. The old model, which we called place, was all about the company. The main question was, how can we push our stuff out there as cheaply as possible? But the new model, access, flips that entirely. It's all about the customer, asking, where is my customer and how can they get what we offer in the most convenient way possible? It's a complete 180.
The music industry is a fantastic example of this in action. I mean, think about it. Access went from only live shows to buying physical records to the chaos of illegal file sharing and now to streaming on platforms like Spotify. Every single step of the way, technology totally redefined how we access music, and the whole industry was forced to adapt or die. And look, this evolution isn't just a music thing. This same tech-driven change has pushed basically every industry from just having multiple separate channels to needing a truly integrated, what we call an omni-channel approach. So what is omni-channel? It's not just about selling on your website and in a physical store. The key is that those channels have to talk to each other. It's about buying something online and being able to return it in store, or checking a store's inventory on your phone before you even leave your house. It's all about one seamless experience that's built entirely around the customer.
Okay, I get it. This all sounds pretty complex. So how do you actually go about building a strategy for this new world of access? Well, that's where this brilliant framework called the 6C model comes in. Think of it as your strategic toolkit.
The 6C model is basically a checklist. It forces you to think through the 6 most critical parts of your distribution strategy. It makes sure you don't miss any blind spots when you're designing that path to your customer.
So, what are they? The 6 C's are consumer, coverage, control, conflicts, contribution or costs, and finally, capabilities. Let's just quickly break down what each of these means.
Everything, and I mean everything, has to start with the consumer. Who are these people? Where do they hang out? What do they expect when they buy something? Do they want a ton of expert advice, or do they just want the lowest price and the fastest possible delivery? Everything else flows from this. Because once you deeply understand your consumer, then you can decide on your coverage. Are you like Coca-Cola, where you need to be within arm's reach of desire, basically on every street corner? Or are you more like Rolex, where you build that desire through super exclusive, carefully selected dealers? Your customer's behavior is what dictates this choice.
And your coverage strategy directly impacts your level of control. For instance, if you sell through a big box discounter, you're going to lose a lot of control over pricing and how your product is presented. But if you sell through your own branded stores, you have total control. But that comes at a much, much higher cost.
And as soon as you have multiple channels, you're gonna have conflicts. It's inevitable. Your own website might start undercutting the prices of your retail partners. 2 of your franchisees might start fighting over the same neighborhood. A really smart strategy sees these conflicts coming and has a plan to manage that friction.
Fifth on the list is contribution, or simply costs. What this means is that the channel has to be profitable for everyone involved. You have to look at the numbers, the margins for you and for your partners to make sure the whole system is financially sustainable for the long run.
And last but not least, none of this works without the right capabilities. What is each partner really, really good at? Maybe a distributor has world-class logistics, or maybe a specialty retailer offers customer service that's just second to none. You want to choose partners whose skills make your entire system stronger.
All right, so that's the theory. To really see how powerful this kind of thinking is, let's do a quick deep dive on just one of those C's, coverage. We're about to see how one simple metric can show you the huge difference between a smart strategy and a really wasteful one.
So let me set up a little puzzle for you. When you're trying to get your product out there into stores, is the main goal just to get into as many doors as humanly possible?
Is more always better? Let's find out.
Okay, so here we've got two brands. Brand Alpha is in half of the available stores. That's a 50% physical distribution. Now, Brand Beta looks like it's doing way better, right? It's in 3/4 of all the stores, a 75% physical distribution. So based on just this, you'd probably put your money on Brand Beta, but not so fast. Because here's one of the most important lessons in all of distribution. Not all stores are created equal. It's a fact. Some stores sell way more of a certain product category than others. And this is the aha moment. See, while Brand Alpha is in fewer stores, it has been incredibly smart about choosing the most important stores, the ones that actually account for 75% of all the sales in that category. That's what we call its weighted distribution. Brand Beta, on the other hand, yeah, it's in more stores, but it chose smaller, less important ones, so its weighted distribution is only 50%. Brand Alpha's strategy is way smarter. We actually measure this with something called the distribution ratio. It's simple. You just divide your weighted distribution by your physical distribution. Brand Alpha's ratio is a fantastic 1.50. That means every point of its physical presence is supercharged. Brand Beta's is a weak 0.67, meaning its efforts are spread thin in places that don't really move the needle. It's all about quality over quantity. So, we've talked about the big shift from place to access. We've walked through our 6C checklist, and we've even seen how to properly measure coverage. Now, how do you take all of this and put it together to design your own winning path? Well, it really boils down to asking yourself 3 core questions. Think of these questions as your personal compass for navigating that distribution maze. The whole framework really comes down to these 3 questions. First, what absolutely must be done to get value to your customer? Second, who is in the best position to do it? Is it you or is it a partner? And then the final crucial question, in exchange for what? See, this isn't just about moving boxes. It's about defining the value for everyone in the chain. So the question isn't just where should we sell? The real question is, how do we design a system where our partners and our customers all win? And answering that, that's how you solve the maze.